If you're looking for the best hearing aids on the market as of 2025 across care methods, from over-the-counter to telehealth to in-clinic options, this is the video for you. If we haven't met yet, my name is Blake Cadwell. I'm the co-founder at Soundly.com. I'm also a hearing aid wearer, and I've personally tried over 50 pairs of hearing aids in the last year. I've spent time in products that are just a couple of $100s, all the way up to brands that are several $1,000s and fit in a local clinic. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the best options across price points. In addition to my own experience as a hearing aid wearer, I've also worked closely with our lead audiologist to test hearing aids in a test box and actually understand how they're performing in background noise and across several other different measures. Additionally, Soundly.com is one of the leading sellers of hearing aids online, which means we have a lot of customer feedback to sift through and better understand which hearing aids are actually performing in real life. We look at return rates, overall performance, and comments from our customers from around the country. All of that has gone into the list that I'll share with you in this video. A couple of housekeeping notes before we jump in. Because I don't want this video to be an hour and a half long, you'll find that I give a short summary of each of the products that we're recommending, but we'll also link at that time our in-depth review for those hearing aids. Every hearing aid on the list today, we've done a full in-depth review on, so if you're interested in a certain product, you can click through, watch that video, or take a look at Soundly.com. Additionally, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to release other roundup videos of subcategories. So we're going to release a whole video dedicated to the best over-the-counter hearing aids, the best Bluetooth hearing aids, and the best prescription hearing aids. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to see all of those videos as they roll out. Of course, your subscription also helps our channel and helps us reach more people. Finally, if you're interested in any of the hearing aids that we talk about in this video, drop down below. We'll link our full reviews and the product pages for each of those products. All right, with all that out of the way, let's dive into the best hearing aids of 2025. So when people ask our team, what are the best hearing aids on the market? We inevitably respond with some questions. What is your level of hearing loss? What is your appetite for remote or DIY care? Do you want to be face-to-face with someone in a clinic? These are important questions that help guide folks into the right categories of hearing aids. So in this guide, we're going to talk about 3 different categories of devices. The first is prescription. This is the traditional channel where you'll go to an audiologist. The audiologist will test your hearing and fit you a pair of prescriptive devices. The second is a newer category and a less expensive one, and that is over-the-counter devices. It's where you'll see brand names like Sennheiser, Sony, and even Apple. You can think of the final category as sort of a hybrid of both. If you get hearing aids through the telehealth category, they'll be programmed before they are shipped to your house. So you get all of your care at home, but there is a professional involved actually programming your devices. And we have a full video breaking down the decision between over-the-counter and prescription options. We'll link that somewhere up here. But the most important thing to note is that if you have mild to moderate hearing loss, the OTC or telehealth path could be available for you and could be a great fit. If you have severe or profound hearing loss, you'll probably want to go to a local clinic and be fit face-to-face. Now, if you don't know what your hearing loss level is, you can head over to Soundly.com. You can take our quick hearing test. It takes about 5 minutes. It's free. You'll be able to see your hearing chart and whether you are mild, moderate, severe, or profound. Okay, so the first category of products that we're going to dig into are prescription hearing aids. So as I mentioned, you go to a local doctor, they'll test your hearing, and they'll fit you with prescriptive devices. Now, like many other categories of healthcare, prescription devices have their own set of brands that are not available to the general public. Those brands in order of size are Phonak, Oticon, Signia and Widex, which are sister brands, Resound, and Starkey. So if you go into a local clinic, you're almost certainly going to be offered one of those 6 brands. Now, it's always difficult to rank these 6 brands because in truth, they watch each other very closely and they compete fiercely for market share. That means every time someone rolls out a new feature, every other brand quickly follows. If you decide to go to a local clinic and you pick any of these 6 brands, you're probably going to be in great shape. That said, you clicked on a video that promised to give you the best hearing aids in 2025, so we're going to tell you which of these 2 brands are our favorite currently. And again, this is just our opinion. If you have a different opinion, please let us know in the comments below. There are a lot of valid reasons to love most of the leading prescription brands on the market. So our top prescription brand overall in 2025 is Signia. There are a few reasons for this. Signia has a really interesting range of form factors, from a behind-the-ear hearing aid, which is very comfortable for all-day wear and has 35 to 40 hours of battery life on a single charge, to other models like this one, which is an earbud style, the Active Pro, or an invisible style hearing aid in their Signia Silk. We think that the overall range of styles is really impressive. We also love all of the modern chargers and the amazing battery lives that come with Signia's products. You really should never run out of battery with a Signia device, and the portable chargers mean that you can go on a camping trip or even go on a short weekend trip, and you don't even need to bring cables because your charger carries so much power. When it comes to sound quality, we also think Signia is a real leader. They use something called split processing, which means that they have two chips on board their devices. One manages background noise and one manages speech. That means that they can change the volume of those two tracks independently, and it can help with soft talkers or elevating voices in background noise. When I wear Signia hearing aids, I'm finding that I hear soft voices like my daughter's in a crowded situation better than many other brands. We also really like the Signia app, and in particular, there's a feature in the Signia app called Signia Assistant, which allows you to make real-time changes to your hearing aids and the programming that you hear. We find this is a really modern feature and very convenient for folks who are out and about, want to make a change, can't schedule an appointment to get back into their doctor. Our runner-up in the prescription category is Phonak Sphere Infinio. Now, this product is made by the #1 manufacturer of hearing aids in the world, Sonova, also the manufacturer behind our favorite over-the-counter product, which we'll talk about in just a moment. The things that we love about the Phonak Sphere Infinio are, #1, the Bluetooth connection. When I was testing the product here in the studio, I was able to walk around the corner, go get coffee, leave my phone here, and continue to listen to my podcast. That kind of connection strength is not typically possible with hearing aids. So if you're looking for the best prescription Bluetooth connected hearing aid on the market, I would look no further than the Phonak Sphere Infinio. Now, when it comes to sound processing, Phonak Sphere Infinio has some really interesting things to offer. Specifically, they're the first hearing aid to put AI on board their hearing aids. That means that they're actually making real-time adjustments to your environment using artificial intelligence. It's a really exciting feature set, and in our full review, you can take a look at how all of this works and how it performed for me in background noise. Now, overall, I think that the sound quality of Phonak Sphere Infinio is on par or even ahead of most of the other prescription leaders. The reason we don't rank it #1 at this time is for two main reasons. One, the Phonak Sphere Infinio is much larger than the other prescription devices on the market. That means if you wear glasses or you have narrow ear canals, you might just not have enough room back there to carry this larger device. It's larger because it has more processing power and a larger battery due to all of the things they're doing on board. Now, speaking of battery, that's the other drawback to the Phonak Sphere Infinio. It only has 8 to 10 hours of battery life when in spheric mode. Now, most people can take it out of spheric mode enough to get through a full day, but it's not even close to what you're finding in Signia at 35 to 40 hours per day. For me, I like the peace of mind to know that my battery is going to last an entire day, no matter how long I stay awake, and maybe even if I forget to throw my devices on their charger. All right, let's move on to category #2, which is over-the-counter hearing aids. Now, over-the-counter hearing aids are new as of the last 2.5 years. At the end of 2022, the FDA formally put forward guidelines that allowed manufacturers to put out over-the-counter devices. And the thing to know about over-the-counter devices is that the sound output is capped. They can technically do all the same things that typical prescription hearing aids can do, but they just can't go quite as loud. That means that you'll need to have mild or moderate hearing loss in order to get full benefit from over-the-counter devices. That said, many folks get a lot of benefit out of over-the-counter hearing aids, and importantly, they are much more affordable. Typical prescription hearing aids like Signia and Phonak that we just talked about typically cost around $5,000 for a pair with care at a local clinic. A lot of folks don't have insurance to cover that and don't want to spend several $1,000s for their hearing care. And those folks are the ones that we typically would recommend take a look at over-the-counter. Each of the 4 over-the-counter hearing aids that we're going to recommend all use a smartphone for programming. That means you'll take an onboard test. That test will feed back into your phone, which will then program your hearing aids. So it's basically completing the same steps that would normally happen inside of a doctor's office, but it's happening through your iPhone or Android. For a lot of folks, the ability to do all of this at home and at a lower price is really compelling. The other exciting part of the over-the-counter hearing category is that it's brought in consumer electronics brands for the first time. If you rewind 5 years, the only brands you would find in the hearing care space are the ones that we just talked about: Signia, Phonak, Resound. But today, you have brands like Sennheiser, Sony, Apple, which we'll talk about in just a moment. So our 4 favorite over-the-counter hearing aids as of the time of this recording are as follows. The first one, our best overall hearing aid for the over-the-counter set, is the Sennheiser All Day Clear. Now, we like this hearing aid for a couple of different reasons. One, we like the fact that it has the traditional behind the ear form factor. The reason we like this is it tends to be most comfortable for all day wear. It simply sits behind the ear, a little piece sits inside the ear, and your ear stays somewhat open, which gives you a nice natural sound. Sennheiser All Day Clear is manufactured by the same group that makes Phonak Sphere Infinio, so it's an incredibly reputable manufacturer. I've spent about 6 months wearing this product, and generally I find it does exceptionally well in background noise, managing soft sounds, handling all kinds of different situations. It's a really strong product. It's the one that I recommend to most people if they are open to the behind the ear form factor. One of the things I really like about Sennheiser is that it has a very simple app, so it's very easy to set up. Even if you're not incredibly tech savvy, but you are able to download a smartphone app and play around with the settings, Sennheiser is probably the easiest one to set up. When you put the hearing aids on themselves, you'll go through a calibration process where it will play a series of conversations between a man and a woman, and you decide which one sounds the best for you. You can then make various EQ changes and volume changes, and ultimately you can get hundreds or even thousands of combinations to match your particular hearing loss. Now, importantly, this setup actually happens through your phone at home. But if you want support during that setup process, you can purchase through Soundly.com. Every purchase of OTC hearing aids through Soundly.com comes with a complimentary setup call with an audiologist. So you'll be pushing the buttons, but we can join you on a call and help give you some guidance on what will make your hearing aids sound the best to match your particular hearing loss. Other notable Sennheiser features: this is a rechargeable hearing aid, but a drawback, it does not have a power bank. That means it needs to be plugged in while you're charging your devices. It's not a huge setback for most because most people just charge their hearing aids next to their bedside, but it's something you should definitely know. We have a full review of Sennheiser, which I'll link somewhere up here, and you can take a look at all the details on this product. Now, let's say that you like the idea of an over-the-counter hearing aid. You want something that's sub $1,000 for a pair, but you don't like the idea of a piece sitting behind your ears. For those folks, we would tend to recommend Sony CRE C20. This is a new product as of the last 6 months. It comes from WS Audiology, which is the third largest maker of hearing aids in the world. They make Signia hearing aids and they make Widex hearing aids as well. And what we love about this product is that it's tiny. It really disappears in most ear canals. Put it in my ear now, turn to the side. You're really not going to see that it's there. Most people would not notice that this is in my ear. It has a little tab that allows me to just pull it out of my ear. Impressively, Sony CRE C20 is also rechargeable and it has a 28-hour battery life. So drop it into the charger, let it fully recharge. You can wear your hearing aids for 28 hours without them dying. This goes to WSA's continued leadership in overall battery management. This is again the same group that makes the Signia hearing aids. And interestingly, if you compare Sony CRE C20 to Signia Silk, which is the prescription sister product to C20, they look basically identical. They're clearly coming off the same factory line. They have a lot of the same functionality. The key difference that drives both the price difference and the experience is that you're doing the programming with Sony and a doctor's doing the programming with Signia Silk. All right, so for 2025, these were our picks for best behind the ear with Bluetooth streaming, rechargeability, and best invisible style in the ear with rechargeable batteries. But although both these products are affordable by the standards of multi-$1,000 pairs that you might get at a clinic, they still cost $1,000 per pair. So what if you have less to spend than that? Where do we recommend you turn next? This is where the over-the-counter hearing aid market can get a little bit wild. If you type in over-the-counter hearing aids on Amazon, you'll see hundreds of brands from lots of manufacturers that even I've never heard of. I have not tried all of the hearing aids available on Amazon. I've tried some of them and I know that they are completely unwearable. I put them in my ears for 20 minutes or 30 minutes and they just simply can't handle background noise of any kind, handle sudden sounds, or they're uncomfortable in my ears. So this year I went on a hunt to find a decent pair of sub $500 hearing aids that were actually good, could manage background noise, and were wearable for a full day. What I found was the Telehealth Beyond. Now, this is a hearing aid that comes from a manufacturer that is relatively new to the space. They've been around for 2 or 3 years. This is their second generation product. I tried their first gen and didn't feel like it quite lived up to what I would have hoped, but then tried their second gen and I've been really, really impressed. So they have some artificial intelligence built into their hearing aids. They have Bluetooth streaming. You can program your hearing aids using a smartphone app. Overall, this is a really impressive and robust option, and it's only $399 for a pair. Again, you can buy Telehealth Beyond on Soundly.com and you'll get a complimentary audiology setup. So if you think about that overall value, you're spending $399, getting a pretty decent bit of technology, and you're getting a call with an audiologist. That's hard to beat on the overall market in terms of value. It's a lot better than spending maybe $99 on a product that you'll almost certainly never want to use, or you'll have to return back to the manufacturer. We think that Here Beyond is a really good choice for someone who's looking for an affordable, no-nonsense, hard-working hearing aid with a good feature set. Again, we have a full review of here, which you can check out somewhere up here. We talk about the app, the programming, how it all works, and interestingly, the tinnitus features that are built into this hearing aid, which is rare in the over-the-counter set. So we love Here Beyond as a great all-day hearing aid under $500. But there's actually another sleeper on the market, and that is the AirPods Pro 2. This might be a hearing aid in your home that you didn't know you have. Many Americans have AirPods Pro 2 as a great pair of headphones. They connect beautifully with iPhone and iPad and, of course, your MacBook. But as of late 2024, Apple rolled out a software update which effectively turns AirPods Pro 2 into an over-the-counter hearing aid. Again, we have a full review of how this all works, including the onboard test and how it holds up in background noise that you can take a look at. But here are the cliff notes. We do not think that AirPods Pro 2 are going to work for most people as an all-day hearing aid for a couple of reasons. Number one, when you're wearing AirPods, most people can see that you're wearing AirPods, and it's not always clear whether you're listening to music or you're engaging in conversation. This is something that as I was testing the AirPods Pro 2 functionality, I found myself constantly explaining. Telling people, no, I'm trying these out as hearing aids. I'm totally with you. I'm hearing you. I think this is one of the major reasons that people probably won't wear AirPods Pro 2 as an all-day hearing aid. However, it can be a great situational device if you're watching TV and you simply want to hear louder, or if you're with someone who clearly knows what's going on and you want to just get a boost of soft sounds, maybe at home. In my tests, AirPods were really good at managing sudden sounds and creating an overall smooth and round sound, but they were a little bit muddy in background noise, which is maybe not surprising. It's not specialized tech for hearing. It's basically a bolt-on solution to an existing product that has a ton of other amazing features. If you're looking for a good pair of headphones, get AirPods Pro 2. You can try their hearing aid out, and if you don't like it, you'll still have an amazing pair of headphones. Now, important note here, not all AirPods have this functionality. You need to get the AirPods Pro version. We'll link that below. So if you're getting a new pair of AirPods, make sure you use the link below or find the same model somewhere else so that you get the right one and you don't end up with a pair of AirPods that can't function as hearing aids. Okay, so far we've talked about prescription favorites, we've talked about over-the-counter favorites, but there's one more product on the market that really stands out for sort of a hybrid approach between over-the-counter and prescription, and that product is Jabra Enhance Select. This has been one of our favorite hearing aids on the market for the last few years, and here's why we really love it. Jabra Enhance Select is a pro-grade hearing aid. It's a prescription device that comes from GN, which is the maker of Resound, which you would find in a local clinic. You're probably seeing a theme here. Sennheiser, made by Sonova, Sony, made by WSA, and now Jabra, made by GN. It turns out hearing aid makers who have been doing this for 100 years are also really good at making these over-the-counter or hybrid products. So Jabra's devices are really excellent. Rechargeable with 30 hours of battery life. They have great Bluetooth streaming capabilities and really solid background noise management. Now, what's different about Jabra from other OTC and in-clinic products is that instead of purchasing the products and programming it using your phone at home, you'll instead take Jabra Enhance Select's online test or submit one. They'll program your devices in their office, and then they'll ship programmed devices to you. From there, you can meet with their audiologist who can make remote adjustments into your hearing aids. So it's really a hybrid between what you're finding in clinic and what you're finding over the counter. Now, as a result, the price is a little bit higher. Sennheiser is typically $999, Sony's around the same price. Jabra is going to be about $2,000 for a pair. And what's that extra layer of care in addition to the convenience of getting all of their care at home via telehealth? Okay, so I've taken 50 plus hearing aids that I've tried in the last year. I've narrowed it down to 7, but there's a good chance that if you're just getting started in your hearing aid research, you might still not be sure which of these products or which of these care methods is right for you. My recommendation is sort of a 3-part research approach. The first is to get your hearing tested. And if you haven't done that in a local clinic, that's fine. Head over to soundly.com. You can use our test. It'll give you a really good picture of where your hearing loss is at. If you're in the mild to moderate category, you can really access any of these 3 paths. If you're in the more severe or profound category, you can head over to our website. We'll help connect you to a local clinic. Now, assuming that telehealth, OTC, and prescription are available options to you, the next thing to think about is which care model seems like it will suit your interests and your needs. If you like to be self-directed, do things on your own, do it from home, over-the-counter hearing aids could be a great option. And remember, if you purchase through Soundly.com, you of course support our business, but you also get that guided setup with one of our audiologists. That could be a good perk if you get stuck at any point in the process. Now, if on the other hand, you know that you want to be face-to-face, you want someone to be able to show you exactly how to fit the product in your ears or work with you in person over multiple appointments, you'll probably want to find a local clinic and go get a prescription product like Signia or Phonak. There are lots of people who go that route and are very happy that they did so. If you haven't already, head over to Soundly.com. You can see all of the products that we've talked about today, plus a lot more that we compare side by side, give full breakdowns on, talk about the pros and the cons of each. You can also get in touch with our team at Soundly.com via text or email. We can take a look at your hearing test and talk to you about what might be the right solution for you. I hope you found this video useful as you find the best hearing aids in 2025, and we wish you the best in your research.